There's been a lot said about what Ford is demanding of its dealers in order to sell electric cars. It's a high price to pay, and a lot of them are going to struggle to afford it. Frankly, I believe Ford dealers are right to seriously be questioning what they're being made to do. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Yes, I do support Ford dealers selling EVs. No, I don't support the way Ford is going about it. The key question I have, will automakers, such as Ford, work with dealers or against them to make the transition to EVs a reality, or will they view the transition as an opportunity to pressure their trusted business partners? General Motors just announced they're going to be selling digitally online, and somehow they're going to make an extra $2,000 of profit. Well, I'm going to guess that dealers will be the ones paying the price. Ford is doing something similar. It's requesting dealers invest $1.2 million in electric vehicle chargers and a various range of other things in order to sell its electric cars. Of course, eventually Ford won't sell anything else. So they either sign into that now or they get locked out of selling Ford vehicles, period, at some point in the future. Legacy automakers and their dealer networks face some serious decisions as electric vehicles grow in popularity and internal combustion vehicles lose some of their luster under tightening emissions regulations. The thing is, no automakers outside of Tesla and BYD make a profit selling EVs. General Motors has just admitted to that fact. They're saying that they believe they will make a profit in 2025, but they most certainly do not now. How will they make a profit? How can they compete with Tesla? Well, few of those decisions are as fundamental as this. Will automakers work with dealers to make the transition to EVs a reality, or will they view the transition as an opportunity to pressure their trusted business partners? Now, honestly, it's very clear that GM and Ford are both pressuring their trusted business partners, but clearly Ford is doing it in a different way to General Motors. General Motors are requiring some investment, but it's a very small amount of investment in comparison to what Ford is asking its dealers to invest. Many of these dealers are small mum and dad type operations. They're not big enough to afford to invest this kind of money. This is the struggle playing out right now across Ford Motor Company's US dealer network as the automaker implements an Orwellian Model E playbook that would treat all dealers equally, even though some are much bigger than others, as it must under existing franchise laws, while effectively making some more equal than others. I don't think it's fair for some of them. That's what I'm trying to say here. That is wrong-headed. And some dealer associations, as well as Ford dealers, are right to pressure the automaker to amend some aspects of its strategy. It's the reason why Ford is being sued by more than 40 of its dealerships now. I believe more will join this fight very soon. Ford's requirement that its dealers invest $1.2 million in their businesses to prepare to sell EVs is not an issue, apparently. Dealers understand that investments are needed to transition their businesses to sell and repair EVs. What is problematic is the automaker's plan to create tiers of dealerships. Model E certified elite, which could sell any Ford vehicle, and Model E certified, which could be limited to just 25 build-to-order retail sales per year. That's the biggest issue. That lesser category would have no EV inventory, no EV demo units available, and no visibility on the automaker's Tier 1 website for its EVs, meaning when customers go online to actually find the dealership that's selling their EVs, these dealerships won't even appear. Also at issue is Ford's requirement that participating dealers install customer-facing fast charging at their dealerships, ostensibly to support electric vehicle customers while third-party charging networks develop. While this requirement might please Wall Street analysts, as it creates a similarity with Tesla's charging network, it does so at dealers' expense and with no financial assistance from Ford at all. It also vastly overestimates consumer interest in spending at a dealership when not buying a vehicle or having it serviced. Now compare Ford with its direct competition. For example, Cadillac offered buyouts to its dealers who didn't see a return in their future from a transition from gas cars to an all-electric lineup. While 99% of Volkswagen's US dealers signed up when the brand offered to subsidize up to half the cost of the upgrades, Ford isn't doing that. Ford executives would be wise to rethink their Model E strategy and perhaps adopt some best practices on being good partners from competitors facing similar transitions. Now, I think that the real problem here is that Ford actually wants a lot of its dealerships to go away. It figures if it makes life hard for them, then maybe they'll just decide, without Ford having to buy them out, that they don't want to sell Ford vehicles anymore. But ultimately, that's not really a good way of doing business. The better option, in my view, would be to take the route of Volkswagen and General Motors. Offer dealerships buyouts if they want to leave. If they don't, work with them, not against them. Now, that's just my take, but I think Ford's dealers are people as well. They are humans. They are people with businesses that have built up. They might have bought that business. They spent their own money to make that business. And it is worth considering that fact when we look at the results of the consequences of what Ford is currently doing. I understand why Ford's dealers are currently suing Ford, and really, to be fair, it is a reasonable position for them to take considering the circumstances they find themselves in. Ultimately, though, you got to think about this, right? This is a bit of a hangover for legacy automakers, for Ford, for GM, for Volkswagen, for Mercedes, for Toyota, for all these guys, having all these dealerships when ultimately the future doesn't need them. We need 40% less workers to build EVs. That's what Jim Farley has said at Ford, right? The same goes for dealerships. We need far less dealerships than what we have. I mean, realistically, look at it this way. Do you need, when you service your electric car, what's done to it? Tell me what's done to it. Yeah, not very much. And the thing is, EVs are getting better and better and better. Eventually, there will be no need to service one for more than 500,000 miles of driving. So ultimately, what are the dealerships there for? If we don't need so many services, what service will they provide us? Well, yes, I agree with some of you. They will still provide us with a service. The number of dealerships we have now is not what is needed in the coming electric vehicle revolution. Now, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. As always, I could be wrong, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you again on the next video. Bye-bye.